Press. There we go. Okay, I got you, Michelle. I muted you. You're good. Okay, happy Monday. Today is it Easter Monday? Is that what the holiday is? Oh my God, yeah, it is. So happy Easter Monday to you all. Clearly, I am not an Easter person. Okay, starting in Shavasana, you need nothing. If you have yoga blocks, you can have them handy. Sometimes straps, sometimes bolsters. There's always the things that you can add in. Otherwise, you and your mat is perfect. Come on down onto your back and then take up the space. So take your feet wider, take your arms out wider. If you want to feel more grounded this morning, you can turn those palms to face down in your Shavasana. And if you're wanting to connect more to yourself and your breath and your body, you can take your left hand to your heart space, right hand to belly, and then you can just really connect to your breath. So choosing any of those options to get started, I'm going to go palms up to receive energy. And in Shavasana, we are in stillness. So eyes are closed. And just take the next, we'll call it 30 seconds to just simply do a scan of the body, of the energy that you're feeling, or maybe lack of as well. And just trying to tune in and see if there's any places in your body that you can let go. So maybe it's the jaw, maybe it's the shoulders and neck, maybe it's the hips and low back. Draw your breath into those places that might be feeling the tension or heaviness or tightness. And then as you exhale, see if you can release anything going on there with the breath. We'll stay here for about 3 more cycles of breath. Maybe you can see if you can deepen your breath here. Big inhales, filling the lungs, expanding through the ribs, the belly, the side body. And let's all take one more big breath in. Hold it at the top. And then we'll part the lips in a big sigh out to release. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. Hold it at the top. And then part the lips in a big sigh out. From here, we're going to take our arms and we're going to interlace our fingers. So cross your left arm above your right. And then rotate your palms towards one another, interlace the hands. We're just going to do a little bit of a wrist stretch here. So you're going to just take your interlaced grip from side to side. You'll get a nice stretch through the backs of those wrists, maybe a little bit into the forearms as well. So currently your left arm is in front of your right. And maybe if you drop those hands over to the right, you're going to get a nice right side wrist stretch. Take a big breath in right there. And release, exhale. Switch your grip so that the right arm comes on top, rotate the palms, interlace that side. And then the same thing here, just taking those hands from right to left. It should feel nice for the wrists and the forearms. And then we'll drop them over to the left side. So you're going to get a nice left side forearm and wrist stretch there. Taking one more big breath in. And then slowly releasing that down. Drop your arms down into cactus shape so that the palms stay facing up. Slide your heels in nice and wide. So we're getting a nice little chest opener here, shoulder opener here. Feet are wide and drop your knees over to the right. You can take your gaze over to the left as well to complete your stretch. And if it feels good, you can take that right foot on the outside of the left leg just to deepen that twist a little bit more. That's really getting into the internal rotation on that left knee. Also, you don't have to take that. You can just let those knees drop over to the right. Take one more big breath in for that side. And exhale it out, stay. And then on your in-breath, slide those legs back up through center, and then let them drop over to the left side. Getting that nice twist here, taking the gaze maybe over to the right side. Option again to take that left foot onto the outside of that right leg. Breathe and hold here. Big breath in, big breath out. Do that one more time, full cycle of breath in. And then exhale it out. In breath to bring those knees back in through center. Take those legs and give them a nice hug, wrapping your hands towards your shins. Maybe giving yourself a little rock from right to left if that feels good for the low back, which it usually always does. And then we'll take those knees and stack them right above those hips. Okay, flex your toes up so your shins should be parallel with your mat. And then take those arms and reach them straight up towards the sky, palms facing in. We're going to take a big breath in. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. So thinking of reaching the fingertips up towards sky ceiling, and then just press your low back into your mat and hold here. If your neck is feeling the tension, you can take the hands in behind that head. We're going to hold here for 5. Trying to really engage through that core. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher, press the low back a little bit more. 4, 3, firing up the core. 2, and 1. Slowly release that down. Hug the shins back in, the legs back in, hands to shins, a little rock from side to side, and then reset for that same position. Knees come to hips, shins parallel to the floor, flex through the toes, reach the arms up. Now, you have the option here to lift head, neck, and shoulders or leave it down. We're going to extend the right arm up overhead and kick the left heel out. Okay, so this is going to be slow dead bug, but extremely slow. Okay, so press that low back. Left arm is reaching straight up. Checking with that right knee. Mine already came in. Try to restack it over that hip. Press your low back. Take a big breath in here. And then exhale. Press the low back even more. Inhale to return, reset, extend left arm up overhead. Kick that right leg right out, right heel hovers. Also, it can be up higher if you're feeling that in the low back. Hold and breathe. Really drive that low back. Press it as hard as you can into your mat. Take one more big breath in right there. And then relax, reset, let go, hug the knees in. Okay, now we're going to go right into moving dead bug. Okay, so working with the breath, reset knees over hips. This is your last little set here. Reach the arms up. Take an in breath, reach the right arm, kick the left leg. Exhale to draw it in. Other side, left arm, right leg. In breath, reach, kick. Exhale, draw it in. You should be pressing that low back as much as you can. You can do this with the head down on the mat, so you take away from the neck. In breath, exhale to pull in. In breath, reach. Doesn't matter what side you're on, just keep moving here. We're going to do 4 more. In breath, reach and kick. Exhale, draw in. At your own pace. 3 more. 2 more. Ooh, firing up that core this morning. Last one, big breath in. And then release. Hug the knees into the chest one more time. Rock from right to left if that feels good. And when you are ready, we will take those hands underneath of those legs. Give yourself a couple of rocks. Oh, forward and back. That's going to get the core fired up. Come all the way through into your tabletop position. Woo! Some serious heat through the core to start. Okay, spread those fingers nice and wide in your tabletop. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to do what feels good through your body. Going side to side, maybe it's a round circular motion, maybe it's forward and back, maybe it's taking the hands into a different position, turning fingertips outwards. If you do get anything going on in those wrists, sometimes changing up that position helps. So just doing what feels good. Oh, all of it. Any movement for 3, for 2, and for 1. Return into your center tabletop, neutral. Take a big breath in, lift your tail and gaze, coming into our cat and cows here. So that's going to feel really good through that core, letting that release come through. Exhale to round. Oh, in breath to come on up and through. Exhale to round. Give yourself 1 more. Full cat and cow here. Big breath in, open it all up. Good morning, Nat. I see she's joined. Exhale to tuck and around. Good. From here, we're going to come back to our neutral table. Spread those fingers even more if you've lost it. Tuck the toes at the back. Hover those knees off of your mat. Come into that nice neutral table. Knees 1 to 2 inches off of your mat. Strong core here. So can you hug up and in? Low abs, belly button comes in. Neutral spine, slight tuck of that tail. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Firing up the core this morning. And don't worry, it's not all core. Take 1 more big breath in. Exhale it out. In breath, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, take a moment in your down dog to do what feels good. Maybe it's a deep knee bend, getting the hips nice and high. Maybe it's a pedal out. All of the above. Everything that feels good for you. And then once you feel good, you can come into your stillness, into your dog. Really lengthen and try to get those hips up nice and high. And then we'll all come high on the tippy toes. Bend your knees, lift your hands, take a nice big step forward. All right, take a nice big breath in. Slide your hands towards your shins, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to release. Good, do that 2 more times. See if you can lengthen a little bit more. Crown of head to tail, nice and flat, nice and long. Exhale to release and fold. 1 more time. Big breath in. Lengthen. Exhale. Release and fold. Interlace those hands coming all the way up to the top. Interlace your hands at the top. Sweep the arms overhead. Oops. Okay, interlace at the top. Release thumb and index once you are there, and then lengthen. Now we're going to just hold here for a moment because I want you to feel everything stacked. Can you tuck your tail slightly? Activate through your legs. So strong legs. Push your toes into your mat. Maybe even hug your toes to your mat to create your nice strong arches through the feet. Lengthen here as much as you can. Try to keep the ribs down. Tuck the tail. Take a big breath in. And then exhale. Come on over to your right side. We're going to hold there for a moment. I want you to feel the length on that left side of your body. Press into the left hip a little bit more. See if you can open and turn your chest forward or upwards. So if you're coming down, try to open it up. Take 1 more breath in for this side. Come on back up through center. Take a moment. Okay, take another big breath in, lengthen, tuck, squeeze, and then exhale, come on over to the left side. Lengthen through that right side of the body. You should feel a beautiful stretch coming down into the arm, the ribs, side body here. Take 1 more big breath in, and exhale that out. In breath to come all the way back up. Exhale, release your hands down towards heart center. Okay, close your eyes for a moment. Tuck your chin down slightly. Set a little intention for your practice for today. April 1st, start of a new month, start of a new week, start of a new block coming up. All of those lovely starts. Okay, something for yourself. Big breath in, big breath out. When you are ready, open the eyes, take a big breath in, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, release, and forward fold over the legs. Good. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen here. Exhale, plant your hands down, step back towards your plank. Pause in that plank for just 1 breath. Inhale, and exhale. Gently lower your knees towards your mat, come all the way down to the belly. Good. Untuck your toes at the back. Take a big breath in, coming into a little baby cobra. So light on the fingertips here, trying to think of engaging through the low back. Exhale, release that down. Do that 2 more times. Big breath in, just a baby cobra here. Lifting chest, lifting gaze. Exhale to release down. 1 more time, engaging that whole back body here. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. Hold this one for 3. Breathe into the back body for 2. Release and then press yourself back up. Table to child's pose. Take your knees nice and wide, toes to touch. Let your forehead rest down onto your mat. Lengthen here as much as you can into those arms, allowing those armpits to come towards the mat, belly to come in between the legs. Take 1 more big breath in. Exhale it out. Shift yourself forward through to tabletop. Inhale, up and back, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do a couple more little slow flows just to get into the body today. I want you to really think of slow, lots of intention behind your moment, behind your movement, not your moment, your movement. Come high the toes, bend the knees. Look to your hands, take a nice big hop step forward. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to release and fold. In breath, circle, sweep the arms all the way up. Palms touching the top, maybe a little back bend here or looking up towards the hands. Exhale, release and fold. Slow, intentional. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back, plank pose. 1 breath, 1 pause in plank. Take an inhale. Option to lower those knees here. Come all the way down onto the belly. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Baby cobra. Breath in. Exhale, release down. In breath, push yourself back up and through to child's pose. Table and child's. Press those hips right back. Reach the fingers forward. Take 1 more breath here. Exhale it out. Shift yourself forward, table, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back down dog. 1 more time there. Just going slow and fluid through your motions today. In breath, Tie the toes, bend the knees, lift to the hands. Big step forward. Warming up that body. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, release and fold. In breath, circle sweep those arms. Again, maybe a back bend for you feels good here. Maybe it's just looking up towards those hands. And then exhale, release and forward fold. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands down, step it back, plank, pause. This is your last one here. Take a big breath in, option to use the knees down onto those mats, or option to come all the way down on the toes, your choice. Baby cobra or upward dog, if you feel like coming into your up dog, you can. Exhale to release everything down. Press yourself up and back, downward dog this time. All right, pedal it out here if that feels good for you. And when you are ready, we'll sweep the left leg nice and high. Three-legged dog. Bend through that knee, open that hip. Let that left heel drop over to the right. Maybe you take your gaze underneath of the right arm to check back and look at that heel. See if you can lift your top left knee a little bit higher. Woo! Getting into those hips here. Take one more big breath in. And then take that foot forward and through, step it in between those hands, coming up to your warrior one stance. Warrior one stance, what does that look like? Feet are separate tracks. Back right toes are at a 45. Nice deep knee bend into the left leg. All right, sweep those arms up overhead. We're gonna just pause here for a moment. We are gonna flow with the arms. Take a nice big breath in. See if you can pull the hips down and tuck your tail slightly. Good. Take one more big breath in. Reach the fingertips, turn the pinkies in. And then exhale the arms down to cactus. Sink a little bit deeper into the left knee. In breath, reach. Exhale, cactus. Good, one more breath in here, reach it up. Pull it to cactus. In breath, hands to prayer. Pull them forward and through. We're gonna bend deeper into that left leg. Take off into your warrior three. Okay, so warrior three. We wanna think of kicking that right foot to the wall behind us. So flex through your toes. Press your right heel back. Soft little bend into that left leg. All right, ready? From here, we're gonna take those hands in behind. Interlace them by your low back. You are balancing here, your gaze is nice and still. Interlace, and if you can lift the arms up and away from that low back. Maybe that doesn't feel good for you. Maybe just resting the hands on the low back works. We breathe and hold here for 3. Strong left leg for 2. And for 1. Release the hands back to the low back, keep them interlaced. Take a nice deep knee bend into that left leg, return to warrior 1. Oh, come on up, keep your hands interlaced. Okay, you might have to wiggle the feet a little bit to get your warrior 1 back. Press down, lift up, come forward to your humble warrior. All right, so you're coming back forward, left shoulder comes towards that left knee, arms reach up overhead. Now, if interlacing the hands doesn't feel good, you can also use a towel or yoga strap here, getting into those shoulders. Taking one more deep breath in here, big inhale, big exhale. Inhale to come all the way back up, release the arms, sweep them up overhead. Inhale, exhale, come on down. Step the foot back, coming into your plank position. We do a nice little flow here. Option to be on the toes, on the knees as you lower into your chaturanga. In breath, upward dog, baby cobra. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. Woo! Okay, sweeping the left side up and open. 3-legged dog to open hip. Lifting that left knee nice and high, letting that, oops. Sorry, you guys, right leg. Ha ha, my bad. That's your April Fools for the day. That's a good one. Just kidding. Right leg is up nice and high. Right knee is up nice and high. Maybe looking underneath of the left arm towards that left heel. Lift your right knee higher. Take a big breath in. And then step that foot forward and through. Preparing for warrior 1, right side. Sweep the arms up when you're ready. Settle in on your exhale. Sink nice and deep into the right knee. Left foot separate track to the right, toes at a 45, setting yourself here. Remember, we don't want to have this big arch, this big flare through the ribs. We want to knit them down, deepen your lunge, add that slight tuck of the tail. All right, let's cactus those arms. Inhale to reach, exhale, elbows down. Squeezing shoulder blades to spine here, in, breath up. Exhale down. One more time. In breath. Exhale, cactus. Hands to prayer. Good. Give a pause here. Shift yourself forward, preparing for your warrior three. Take off. Kicking that left leg back now. Behind you. Pressing that foot towards the back wall behind you. Now balancing here. Find that focus point, that stillness. Connect to your breath. Try to keep your hips nice and square. Micro bend, maybe soft bend into that right knee and breathe. Good. Interlace the hands in behind you. Maybe the weird way, maybe not. Maybe you don't even know the weird way. And then when you are ready, lifting those arms off and away from the back if you can. If that feels okay for you. Okay. Woo. Firing up those legs and balance. Take one more big breath in here. Gently release the hands down towards the low back. Keep the interlace. Bend through your right leg. Come on back to your warrior one. Wiggle those feet to where they should be. Press down and back, lift away, shift forward to humble warrior this side. Right shoulder towards right knee. Let go of the head and neck here. Try to lift those arms overhead as much as you can. Taking one more big breath in. And release out. In breath to come all the way back up. Sweep the arms all the way up overhead. And then exhale, hands to mat, step the right foot back to meet the left high plank and pause. Come forward, exhale, chaturanga. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps high, and that is correct. Three-legged dog, sweep that leg forward and through. Preparing for warrior two. Pivot your back right foot, and then come on up. Exhale, settle into your warrior two. Okay, we find ourselves sometimes like this. You're looking at your screen that's shifting forward. We want to keep the shoulders in line with those hips and then sink deep into that left leg. Relax the shoulders down. Think of floating arms here. All right, we're gonna move in our warrior two. In a moment, we're gonna fire up that left leg a little bit more first. Oh, here comes Zoe. She's late to the game today. All right, let's take an inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead, lengthen through your left leg. Exhale, settle into warrior two. Good, fire it up. In breath, lift, reach. Exhale, warrior two. Sink deep into that left leg. One more. In breath in. Exhale, warrior two. All right. From here, are we ready? We're going to shift ourselves forward. And by forward, I mean to the top of your mat, coming into half moon. All right, what does that look like? Maybe you have a block. Maybe you don't. Fingertips to mat is perfect. We want to stack that right hip on top of left. Your right foot is exactly as it would be in your, in your warrior three, except now your toes face forward. You're still kicking that wall behind you. Reach that top right arm, have lots of intention in the body here. Long left leg, long right. Maybe you want to play with balance. Maybe you want to lift your left fingertips. Oh, I just ruined my half moon. Maybe you want to test yourself there. Breathing for three. Keep firing that up. For two, we're still going to be working left leg. For one, right fingertips come to your mat. Rotate the hips. Lift the leg. Point the toes, standing splits. Maybe your gaze goes straight back behind. Maybe you want to play with balance here. Alternating one hand to the other towards the left ankle. Maybe both hands. Ooh, there's a challenge for you. Take one more big breath in. Kick your leg up higher. Bring your right foot to match your left and sink right into chair. Scoop the arms overhead. Ooh. Okay, some fire. In your chair, squeeze those knees in. Tuck your tail. Pull the abs up and in. Sink a little bit lower. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. And we're going to add in a nice little pulse for fun. That's fun. Are we ready? We're going to do 10 in 3. Take a big breath in. Exhale for 2. Pulse for 10. 9. 8. Squeeze your knees in. 7. 6. Isn't it fun? 5. Yes. 4. Stay low. 3. 2. 1. Hold for 3. Sit a little lower, tuck your tail for 2. Forward fold release on 1. Whoop. Inhale, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, release, plant the hands down, step back, plank pose. Give a nice breath in that plank. Option to lower those knees, chaturanga. In breath, upward dog, baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Other side, what does that mean? What side did we just do? Right leg sweeps high. Sweep it forward and through. Warrior two. Right leg, come on up. Exhale, settle into that warrior two. Again, shoulders over hips. We sink deep into that right leg. Oh, my balance on this side. Right knee is in line with those toes. Check in. Make sure your knee's not coming. A lot of the times we see warrior two and the knee is like this. We want that knee opened up in line with those toes. Arms to relax and hang out. Doesn't that feel good? Tuck your tail maybe a little bit more. See if you can really activate the low abs this morning. Okay, sink a bit deeper. Good. On your next inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, sink deep. Warrior two. Two more there. In breath, reach it up. Exhale, sink deep. Warrior two. One more time. Breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Pause in that warrior two for a moment. You might have to heel toe that back left foot in a little bit. Take off. Coming into your half moon. Right side. Okay. Fingertips are down onto your mat or on a block. Maybe it's a water bottle. Maybe it's a stool. I don't know. Left foot, though, is flex. Sorry. Lost my words. Reach your left arm up. Maybe you're testing your balance by taking your right fingertips away. Doesn't have to be for the whole time. It could just be a play. Take one more big breath in here. Take your left fingertips down, rotate your hips, come to standing splits, change your flexion to extension, so pointing through that toe. Take a big breath in there. Kick and lift that leg a little bit higher. Lower your left foot down to meet your right. Sweep your arms up. Chair pose one more time. Woo! Okay, fun times in chair. Think of rotating those arms inwards a little bit, pinkies come in. Fire up the arms by reaching those thumbs back. Tuck your tail. Squeeze the knees inwards. Sometimes squeezing the knees in doesn't feel good. Maybe you like to take your chair a little bit wider. That's also an option. Do what feels good for you. We pulse in 3. In 2. We've got 10 left here. Let's go. 10. 9. Slow and low. 8. 7. Nice job, everybody. 6. 5. Keep going. 4. Sit a little bit lower if you can. 3. Challenge yourself. 2. Hold for 1, hold for 2, hold for 3, forward fold. Let's fold and release. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, plant those hands down, step back to plank. 1 pause in that plank. Chaturanga, lower down. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Take it back to a child's pose. Hips sink deep into those heels. Knees wide, arms reach forward. We're just staying here for 1 deep breath in and 1 deep breath out. Good. Shift yourself forward to table. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. All right, team, we're almost there. Some balance work. We're coming up next here. Come behind the toes, bend the knees, look to your hands, take a nice big step forward. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, release. In breath, all the way up to standing. Exhale those hands down towards heart center. We're gonna do 3 balances. Right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, and then make our way down. Okay, we are starting with eagle. Left foot's gonna stay on the mat, lift your right knee up. Cross it over your left and sink low. Right leg is on top, that means right arm comes underneath. Right arm underneath. Wrap it around. If you don't have eagle arms, you can also take hands to shoulders. That feels better for a lot of people. Your goal here is to squeeze the legs in, add a slight tuck of the tail. If your hands are to shoulders or eagle arms, see if you can lift your elbows up a little bit higher here. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. We're doing that 2 more times. 2 cycles of breath. In breath. Squeeze your legs a little bit more. Exhale. 1 more breath in for this side. Exhale. Release all of your little binds there. Woo! Come on up, other side. Right leg is down, left leg. Knee drives up. Cross it over the left, sink low. Left knee is on top, which means left arm is on the bottom this time. Eagle arms or hands to shoulders. Lift the elbows up in either or. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. Really engage there. Breathe. You got 2 more cycles of breath. Can you sink deeper into your eagle? Sometimes we lose that because we're focused on other things. Yes, take 1 more big breath in Release that. Okay, left leg is down. Dancer's pose. Whoop. Creating some heat. Right leg bends in. Try to come into the inside of your foot. All right, if that doesn't feel good, you can also take the outside. That is fine. Maybe it's just a quad stretch for you today. Sweep your left arm forward and up. Maybe you can shift forward and kick back. Doesn't have to be anything big here. Nothing fancy. Kick your right foot into your right hand. Breathe and hold. Maybe you can shift forward a little bit more and kick a little bit more, maybe not. Maybe you're staying in a quad stretch. That works. Take one more big breath in. Slowly release that side. Whoop. Balancing on the right leg, left side dancers. Trying to take the inside grip of that foot or the outside. If it's awkward for you to come to the inside, no problem. Sweep the right arm up and shift your way to dancers for this side. Breathe. Where can you engage more? Maybe it's reaching the right arm. Maybe it's kicking into the left foot. Maybe it's the standing leg and core. Go ahead, take one more big breath in. Slowly release that side. Whoop. Left side tree. We're almost there, team. Last balance. Left leg is down. Right leg is coming to where it feels good for you. Toes on the floor. Foot below knee. Haha, below knee. Okay, I'm sure some of you got it. Above the knee. Oh dear. Okay, hands to heart center. It's okay, I made some of you smile. Try to open up your hip, open up your knee from your hip, okay? Now add that tuck of the tail. Once again, your core should be fired up here. Press your palms towards one another, or maybe you're extending your tree this morning and reaching the arms up overhead. Choosing for you. Find your stillness, or maybe you're a flowing tree today. That's my balance. All right, let's take one more breath. Release that side. Ooh, last balance here. That's a lot in a row. Right leg down, choosing your position for your left side. Try to open that hip as much as you can, hands to heart center or arms up overhead. You choose what feels good for you. Add that slight tuck of the tail, really activate that right glute, and external rotate in that left hip. Oh, this tree is a moving tree. Take one more big breath in. Release that. Big final flow here, team. Take a big breath in, reach those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, release and forward fold. In breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Go take your time here. Step back into your plank. Go slow. Engage through your core here. Big inhale, chaturanga on your exhale. In breath, upward dog or baby cobra. Take it back to your child's pose when you are ready. We will hang out there for 3 cycles of breath. Feel the space in the belly. Pressing those hips right back, lengthening here. Feel the back ribs on your breath in. Big exhale. Do that one more time. Last cycle of breath in your child's pose. Inhale. And exhale. Shift yourself forward and through to tabletop. We're going to swing those legs around to the front of your mat. We are going to make our way down nice and slow. All right. Keep your legs bent here. Dig your heels into your mat and flex those toes. Reach your arms forward. Lengthen here first and then have a nice little lean back. In your lean back, tuck your tail. Keep reaching those fingers forward. Take your time as you make your way down into your, onto your mat. We're going to do one last little hold here. All right. Plant the feet down, about hip width apart. Press your palms down into your mat. Tuck your tail and slowly lift your hips away from your mat. Coming into bridge pose here. Just breathing and holding, squeezing through those glutes. Press through the entirety of your feet. Try to create those arches a little bit more. That's getting those toes into the mat. Tuck the tail, lift the hips. Breathe and hold for 3. Engage through those glutes as much as you can for 2. Slowly release that all the way down and make your way into your Shavasana. Whatever that looks like for you, if there's any other stretches or poses that you want to add in before you make your way there, please feel free. Sometimes a nice twist, sometimes a shoulder stand. Some of us just like going right into Shavasana. One of the favorites. We're just gonna hang out here for about 30 seconds. Stillness, maybe a little bit longer. Take this time to do another little simple scan of the body. Connecting back to your breath if you have lost it. Sometimes we focus on the movement more than we do the breath work. Both work together beautifully. And I'm just going to leave you with a very simple message today. Very, very simple, but a good one. Okay, sometimes you get what you want. Other times you get a lesson in patience, in timing, resilience, in purpose, and in clarity. Either way, you win. Love that. Sometimes you just win. Other times you learn. All of those lessons. Are you doing your down dog and up dog early for everybody? Or you're just coming to say hi? Either way, you win. We love a good win. All right, so let's bring some gentle movements back into those fingertips, back into those toes. Little gentle wiggles. You can hug those knees back into the chest, maybe a rock from side to side. And then we'll make our way into fetal position on the right side. That arm can come up overhead. Just taking that pause, come back to your intention. Think of all the lessons that you're going to learn today. Resilience, timing, patience, clarity. Slowly pressing yourself back up into a seated position, crossing those legs once you've got there. Oh, that felt good. Let's take a big breath and reach the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale those hands down towards heart center. Oh, amazing, amazing job, everybody. Namaste. So good. So good. I hope everybody had a nice rest week and a good Easter weekend. All of that good stuff. And we have HIIT and core Wednesday morning, and then we've got full body Saturday morning, and then the block officially begins on Monday, April 8th. Just that's the schedule. It was a little late. I was a little late this round, but we're here. We're here. I know. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday Monday. Bye, everyone.